Hey everybody, welcome to the infinite regression. Hey, you know how if you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back? This one takes pictures of you, like embarrassing ones, and then it posts them on Instagram and it makes weird captions. So, don't look in here for too long. You're not gonna like what happens. Anyway, oh look what done happened over here. Yeah, we got through that first bit in under a minute. Oh my God. I didn't think we had it in us. There have been multiple starts and stops. There are more deleted versions of this episode than any other, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I won't belabor this point, and then I'll move on. Okay, look. I allowed people to get in my head, and that was wrong because people don't belong in my head. Because this is my creative space. This is where I do things that are funny to me, that are interesting to me, and if anybody else likes it, cool. If anybody doesn't like it, well, it wasn't for you, was it? So, who cares what you think if you didn't like it? So, yeah, this is my YouTube channel. This is me doing my thing. And I'm just not gonna care anymore. I don't have the time or the ability to give a fuck about other people and the things that they think about a creative venture that has nothing to do with them. So let's move onward and upward. Let's do what we got to do. So let's reset this table. Let's pretend that we're coming fresh right out the infinite regression. You know, we're about to sit down with old Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. There's going to be a theme song. There's going to be a Thanksgiving themed show just for you. Haha, you meaning me. I'm going to watch this tomorrow and I will enjoy it. Will you watch it? Who are you? I don't care. There's a couple people who tend to watch these weekend type fun episodes. If you like it, cool, awesome. Like if you don't, whatever is fine. Anyway, people, I have to regain my own thoughts, my own mind in my own creative space. I don't know if you know what it's like to have someone else's thoughts intrude in your creative space, but it's annoying and it makes me angry. So let's enough with that. Here we go. Hey everybody, look at this. Huh? Look at where we are. Hey, you know who this is. Oh yeah, there's going to be slides telling you my name and the family I'm from and, you know, where they hail from. And boy, you're going to learn some things about my family in this episode. Yeah, that's right. It's true. I brought some things from home. A little show and tell. You're going to enjoy this, trust me. So, anyway, we need to get this episode underway, and that only means one thing. You know what that means. You know what that means, don't you, Stanley? He's standing right here next to me. He's a bit of a weirdo. Stanley is. He's a strange little man. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what. We're getting into the holiday season, and you know, you see my nice tumbler of bourbon here, Stanley. This good stuff. This is Elijah Craig. This is Elijah Craig, which was taken from the private stock of a known pedophile who hopefully will be behind bars before too long. I wish I was joking about that part. I'm not. It is unfortunately true. He did terrible things to a person I care about, and I took a bottle of his whiskey. Come at me, bro. Seriously, come at me. Anyway, let me have a nice sip of this whiskey that I found. Mm. Ooh. Elijah Craig. It's pretty good stuff. Anyway, so, Stanley, you're here. I see you looking at my glass. You still on the wagon? Is it on the wagon or off the wagon? It's off the wagon if you mess up. It's on the wagon if you're... Okay. I'm trying to get your lingo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into this holiday season, and it's a time to put away differences. It's a time to be kinder, better, more gentle. So in times past, I have cast aspersions. I have spoken slightingly of our friend Stanley here and his supposed... No. Let me correct myself. I was about to say supposed sobriety. Let's just say sobriety, huh? Do the man a favor and give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, yeah. In times past, I've called him out. I've said terrible things about this man. Called him a lush. Said that he was faking it. Straight up called him a liar. Said that he was definitely on the sauce. Things like that. And, well, gosh, the leaves start turning colors and I start to feel like maybe I shouldn't do such things, And I look around this room that is, well, completely bereft of any sign of diversity. And Braxton, I know that you were hoping for some diversity. I know you really had your heart set on Dulce, who interviewed for our internship. Well, Braxton, buddy, I'm sorry. Hate to tell you, but I did look into it, and Dulce accepted a position elsewhere. She is unavailable. I did look into that for you. Anyway, I'm trying to be the better man. And you know what, Braxton? I hope that someday, if, a certain young intern around here, if she feels a certain way, well, maybe at a certain celebration, maybe in springtime, maybe we'll see you there, and maybe you won't feel so bad when you see how happy it makes me the way that things have gone. You don't always win, but sometimes you can take pleasure in the victories of others, Braxton, is what I'm telling you. And, I'm winning now. I'm on top of the world and absolutely crushing it in every possible way. And you know what? Maybe someday you'll have some minor victories that you can celebrate in a way that the rest of us will pretend is not pathetic. So looking forward to that. You just let me know if you ever do anything of consequence, Braxton. And I mean it. I will see if Hallmark has a card for minor achievements and stuff. We'll see. No, I'm not. Why would you think I'm being facetious? Why would you use the word facetious, except for the fact that it's very fun to say? Have you said facetious lately? Oh my God, what a word. What a word. Facetious. Everyone should be saying it. You know what? I'm saying it now. Facetious will be the word of 2022. That's right. No need to contact Corey Stamper or whoever your favorite lexicographer is. No need to go to Merriam-Webster.com, the greatest of all possible dictionary websites on the internet. No need to go there, my friend, because I'm saying it now. The word of 2022, facetious. A thing that I'm not being, Braxton. I'm serious. If ever, there's some, I don't know, pathetic writers award that they give out so that you guys don't get suicidal. If you ever win one of those, just let me know. I'll even mention it on the show. How's that? That make you feel better, buddy? Well, I don't think that's the finger that I would show if someone offered me the same. So, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree. Anyway, speaking of being a better man, Ian, hey there. Yeah, I have often been on your case for your inability to do your job correctly and promote this show. I've said so in just about every single episode of this show, and even though everything I've said is absolutely 100% true, and there's not a word of it that is in any way exaggerated or fabricated, even with all that, Ian, I sometimes feel that perhaps I've been a little hard on you, and maybe in the future, when you fuck up and you ruin everything and you fail to get us any views whatsoever, you know what? I'm just going to let it slide because, we're family here, and family really matters. So, Ian, I'm just going to treat you like a member of the family here, and you should know I'm not on speaking terms with most of my family. Anyway, moving around the room full of white people, Stanley, if you could... No, we're going to get to you. We're going to get to you. Look, Stanley, not everything is about you. Oh, we're going to start the show, Mr. Man. Oh, my God. The world does not revolve around you, Stanley. I don't care that people have been staring at this slide for 10 minutes. Hey. This show, when it says with your host, whose name is after the with your host part? Is it me or you? Do you know? Do you know, Stanley? Sometimes it seems like you don't. So please, just afford me a little bit of courtesy, the kind of courtesy that I afforded you when I pretended to go along with this sham sobriety that you keep pushing on us. Okay? Yeah. You just stand there, you zip your lip, and you let the man who hosts the dang show, the man without whom there would be no show, and quite frankly, my friend, you would have no job without me. Oh, let's not mince words anymore. You wouldn't have a job without me. And without a job, how would you buy your precious booze, huh? Yeah, that's right. So you just zip the lip. You think about that for a second. How are you going to pay for all that cheap hooch if Daddy isn't bringing home the bacon? That's right. Anyway, I was about to talk to Chaz here. Chaz, who, Stanley, get this, he gets paid like 150 times more than you do. Do you know what he does? Me neither. Exactly. He's an executive producer, but what even is that? You executive produce this show? You don't write the slides. You don't tell the jokes. You didn't sing the theme song. You didn't come up with the idea for the show. So what is it that you do exactly? Oh, take meetings with aspiring starlets and violate all sorts of laws? Yeah, well, that's not going to catch up to you. Anyway, regardless, Chaz, you're a terrible person, but in light of the fact that the holidays are coming, I promise that I will not mention to the feds who have been calling me regularly, asking about the various crimes against man, God, and nature that you've committed in the many years that I've known you. And I'm going to go ahead and do you the favor and not tell them what I know until after the holidays. How's that, buddy? Huh? Give you a nice head start? Anyway, there you go, Chaz. Just like family. And Clarissa? Wait a minute. Who's that with the mustache? Wait. When did we order a pizza, and since when do pizza guys have mustaches? Oh. Oh, that is rich. Okay. So there's a porn shoot next door, and she thought he was an actual pizza deliveryman, and she thought, oh, now she's got his mustache. I don't think she realizes that the mustache was not real. Oh, man. Oh, Clarissa, she just might be the most entertaining one in the office. Yeah, that's right. Kaysen, look at you. You look like a giant doofus. You know what I'm saying? Like your friend Aiden over here. You know what? Your parents were douche canoes, and you didn't fall far from the douche canoe tree. You little nut. Anyway. Oh, that's right. I remember. I was going to try and be nice to you underlings. Because on account of the holiday and whatnot. Spirit of goodwill and all of that nonsense. Well, hey, why don't you all just continue to not support me in this show, continue to be just dead bloated weight, and daddy over here just keep bringing home the bacon, and you all just keep suckling at my teat, as it were. That's a disturbing image, but enjoy it. Anyway, so, look, we're only a scant 17 and a half minutes in. Stanley, if you would please. Weekend Have Fun, Volume 27. Thank you, Stanley. No. That's my bourbon. Yeah, I'm going to watch me drink this. Watch me enjoy this, Stanley. Goes down smooth. All right. This week's Psode. Rem Pemberton's good old-fashioned homemade grandmama-approved autumnal Thankstravaganza Spectacular 2021. Yeah, that's right. And, just for you, this special episode that we are already 18 and a half minutes into has over 100 slides. That's right. Braxton must have switched from, I don't know, what he used to be doing to some sort of hard stuff that keeps him up all night and writing jokes and slides and whatnot. He's, like a hamster on ecstasy, this one. And, anyway, just make sure he gets water. Ian, putting you in charge. Anyway, over 100 slides. Let's see if any of them are any good. With your host, Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. Boy, I love autumn. So many of my clothes are earthen-toned and very autumnal, And, I just can't wait to break out my soft woolen cardigans, my soft woolen scarves, my soft woolen socks, my soft woolen sex doll, all of my soft woolen goods. Anyway, play the theme. I was going to do just that. Here we go. This is the theme. It is the only theme I ever sing, and this is the theme. The theme that comes and haunts my dreams, and when you hear this theme right
cha.
Oh, I remembered the cha. Remembered to wait for it. That means this one's going to be a winner. That's right. No way this one can go wrong. Especially because, as I told you, I brought some things from home. A few little holiday knickknacks from my family to yours. Anyway, let's get underway. And now, prepare yourself for a veritable cornucopia of laughs. See, Braxton, I told you could do it. Whatever that is, Rem told me to put that in there. Yeah, I did, Braxton, because cornucopias are very festive. I was surprised you didn't know what a cornucopia was. I have a sister named Cornucopia. I was going to set the two of you up, but now... Oh, no. No. I'm afraid Cornucopia and her nymphomania and her many, many other addictions they're going to have to go elsewhere. Anyway, yeah, that's right. That's right. You don't respect the boss man, you don't get set up with his weird, freaky sister, whose name is Cornucopia. And also, the Weekend Type Fun staff will share the things they're thankful for. You know, that's a tradition I've always loved. People sharing what they're thankful for around the holidays. You know, take the focus off acquiring and getting all the time. Just take a moment to be grateful for what you have without trying to get more until the day after when you punch someone in a Walmart parking lot over a cheap TV. But first, Rem tells the story of the first Thanksgiving from the point of view of the very first Clemson Pembertons who were actually there. This is true. I'm so excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't tell you how excited I am. Now, look at this. See, here's a painting. This is my great, let me see. Great grandfather, Ephraim Pemberton. He was the very first of the Clemson Pembertons. And we recently discovered his journal. And would you believe it? When I purchased the journal, never mind how much, it was a private auction. It was rather a hefty price, but I think it will be worth it for the story that we are about to see. You know, there are very few accounts of that first Thanksgiving. There are really only 2 official accounts. They come from the journals of a couple of other people who were there. Well, this one comes from a relative of mine, an old ancestor of mine who was actually there. You can see, look at this family resemblance. Some people say that he's a dead ringer for me, or vice versa, you know. I don't go for collars like this, or big buckle hats, but, you know, I guess in the face a little bit we have a certain something. Anyway, now, I have to tell you, I've been saving this for all of us to enjoy together. So I haven't even looked at this entry myself. I've looked at other parts of the journal. They were interesting and enlightening and about what you'd expect for a gentleman from the 17th century. But now, for the first time ever, I'm very delighted and excited to bring to you the actual story of the very first Thanksgiving from the point of view of my pilgrim ancestor, Ephraim Pemberton. Ephraim Pemberton, Plymouth, Massachusetts, October 1621. This year, as we beheld the fruits of our labors, and seeing that they were much more plentiful than was required by our wintern wants, the governor of our colony proclaimed that we should hold a feast day on the which we should give thanks to Providence for his plentiful blessings. Now, when people said Providence back in those days, they were talking about God. Now, of course, they believed in this archaic God that nobody really believes in anymore, the Yahweh of the Bible. We all believe in the one and only true God, don't we? Emmylou Harris. And certainly it was Emmylou Harris up there in the sky with her beautiful singing voice and her delicate guitar strumming that led these pilgrims across the waters and brought them to a land uninhabited, a land that they could claim for their own, a land where they could practice their religion and where they could wear their buckly hats and buckly shoes and big old collars and whatever other freaky deaky things they were into. Well, they could do those too. It was their own business. Anyway, so this is very much like the Thanksgiving story as you heard it in grade school, but from my ancestor who was actually there. It continues. One of the blessings we were celebrating, in addition to our bounteous harvest, was the utter decimation of the local natives, who surely were swept off the land by the hand of Providence, and surely were not at all affected by those blankets we generously bestowed upon them, which were surplus to us because their previous owners had perished from smallpox. They probably didn't know that it was contagious, I'm gonna guess. With our muskets drawn, we bid the survivors of the tribe welcome to our feast. Probably presenting them, the natives were probably curious to see what a musket looked like. That's why they had them out, I'm assuming. We laid before these natives a feast the likes of which they had surely not seen in all their days. That sounds about right. For the hand of Providence surely had blessed this land which we so recently found bereft of its former inhabitants, and with a modicum of forced labor from the local natives. Forced labor. I'm sure he's joking about that. That's the old Pemberton sense of humor kicking in there. The land did bring forth all manner of goodly fruits and vegetables. In addition to all of these, we needlessly slaughtered many more animals than we could possibly hope to eat. Now that sounds American. After glutting ourselves for 3 full days, William Chesterton, being something of a baraccio, if you don't know, a baraccio is one who enjoys their drink rather a lot. Kind of like Stanley, if you know what I'm talking about. Or Clarissa is a better example. And having had more than his share of the rum, inflated one of the now hollow pig carcasses and began to toss it like a ball. Oh my goodness. That is remarkable. We found this good sport, and were soon throwing the swine flesh hither and thither. This playful tossing soon gave way to violence, and several natives were killed in the new game we had invented. Oh, I'm sure they meant it like people say that today. Oh, we killed 'em. How'd you do in the game? We slaughtered 'em. We murdered 'em. We killed 'em. You know, it's just a saying, just a sportsman's saying. Obviously, the Pilgrims won. They were better at agriculture, after all. The chief of the tribe then provided us with a new sort of tobacco to smoke. Oh, the old peace pipe. Yeah. He provided this gift in hopes that we would, in his words, chill the frick out. Whereas this previously unknown tobacco was both difficult to keep alight and smelt something akin to the south end of a northbound skunk. You know, I think Braxton, is that the kind of tobacco you smoke in the writer's room? No, it sometimes smells. I didn't want to bring it up on air in front of everyone, but it sometimes smells like a skunk in there. No, it really does, and I'm not the only one who said so. I am not. Braxton, are you high right now? No, I can't just tell by looking at you. I'm asking because you're acting weird. Okay, go back to staring at your hand, I guess. Anyway, it produced the most wonderful euphoric effect on our minds. A good cigar will do that, I've heard. In addition, we soon found ourselves glutting again upon the remnants of our feast. Waste not, want not. That was the way of the pilgrims. While in this euphoric state, I beheld the caramel face of one of the native girls, and I desired her company for the evening. Oh my. She protested due to her recent marriage to one of the native men. Her protests were soon silenced when I parted her then-husband's head from his shoulders with one mighty blast from my blunderbuss. Okay. I don't know what you think that means. I'm sure. No. There's really only one way to read that. He shot her husband in the face. Well, we've had family stories about Ephraim Pemberton for years, but we never suspected. Well, back in those days, things were a little more violent, and we don't know the whole story. Maybe we should keep reading and we'll find what really happened here. Maybe self-defense, little Kyle Rittenhouse business there. I don't know. We'll read on. I took the weeping native girl into my bed for the evening and performed various acts of a carnal and lusty nature upon her. Well, that can only mean one thing, unfortunately. Look, we all have ancestors who have probably done things that we would be ashamed of. It was a different time in our nation's history, and people behaved differently. I think we need to approach this with an open mind, and hopefully maybe it won't seem so bad. First I did plant my face betwixt her soft bosoms. Oh, God, he describes it. Okay. You know what? I'm going to have another quick swig of this whiskey, and yeah. Ooh. Smooth. Well, only way round is through, as they say, so let's go ahead and get this over with. Okay. First I did plant my face betwixt her soft bosoms, and did jiggle my face to and fro. Then I did tear the moccasins from her feet, and lick the juicy bits of her toes. What does that mean? I then begged her to urinate on my face, but she only sobbed. It was then that I knew she was not one for lengthy foreplay, and I forced myself upon her, and gave her what must surely have been the greatest 45 seconds of pure ecstasy she had ever encountered in her brief life. For lo, it surely must have been thus, because the moment of my climax brought laughter where once were tears. Might have misread that, Ephraim. This does not look good. Oh, maybe it gets better. On the day following my first lusty encounter with my new caramel skin lambkin, I found to my delight that her former husband once pitched his tent on a parcel of land which I could now by law inhabit. I called this place Clemson, oh God, and forced several of the natives to lay the foundation for what will be my future mansion, a mansion which will surely be inherited by my children's 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 children. All my descendants will surely praise my name and also probably share my lust for women's feet and urine. God grant that it be so. Amen. Okay. I think I need a little bit more. Oh, that's it's a stiff drink. Anyway, look, I didn't know what was in here. I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I was always told that my great hold up, let me count them up. Great grandfather Ephraim Pemberton, first of the Clemson Pembertons, that he settled Clemson, that he built the mansion with his own two hands, and that the land was uninhabited always until he got there. That's the way the family tells it. Well, this is a very different story, and my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, that this is not the normal festive Thanksgiving fare that you are used to. This raises so many questions. You know, I mean, we've all known that the first Thanksgiving, wasn't it a lovely celebration between two peoples of differing backgrounds? Wasn't that what it is? I'm thrown by this. I don't know what to think. And that's the real story of the first Thanksgiving from the Journal of Ephraim Pemberton. Feet and urine. You gotta believe me, I didn't know. Braxton. Oh, stop laughing, Braxton. Did you read this before you put it in there? You did, and you still put it in. You know, I don't even know what to say to you, Braxton. We're going to have a meeting or two about this, and you better not smell like a skunk when we do. That's all I'm saying right now. That's all I'm saying. We're trying to have a Thanksgiving show, and we don't need to know that my great-great-great-great-grandfather shot a man in the face, stole his wife, motorboated her breasts, tried to get her to pee on his face, and then gave her a very pathetic lovemaking session which made her laugh. Well, we don't need to know that. You could have just told me and we would have cut it out, Braxton. I swear. Chaz, did you know about this? Oh, you thought it would be funny too. Well, okay. I see what I'm dealing with here. A couple of funny guys, huh? You know what? This is probably not even the real journal. Look, bring me the real journal. Look, April. Get April. No, my assistant. Her name isn't March. We just joke that she looks like a March, 'cause little unfortunate in the face region. Anyway, look. April. You've heard me say that you're unfortunate in the face region before. Well, somebody's got to tell you. Anyway, Look, I need you to go into my office, my top left-hand desk. No, no. I don't keep things like that in my desk. What? What are you? Nope. That is not a thing that I would have. I do not have magazines of a gentlemanly variety that involve peeing on people's faces. No, not foot ones either. No. Look, first of all, could you not go through my things? And second of all, could you not plant things? Because that was a plant. You planted it. You're trying to make me look bad. You're out to get me just like everybody else. Putting pornography in my desk, I swear. Anyway, look. The desk drawer that doesn't have pornography in it has my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's journal. Listen to me. I need you to put on the gloves. I need you to very gently and tenderly bring it to me. Bring my own pair of gloves. This is archival material. This is a journal from the 1600s. You don't just toss it around like a copy of Twilight. No. You treat it with care. Oh, You've been handling it with bare hands, have you? Okay. Well, we'll see how long you stay around here. If that's... Just go get the damn book, okay? God, good help. So hard to find. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to compare. Let's see here. No. Bring me my gloves. Okay. Let me put these on here real quick. All right. Get to the right page. All right. Let's see. First, I did plant my face betwixt her soft bosoms, and did jiggle my face too. Oh, God, it's the exact same thing. You guys didn't make it up. Oh, God. Well, that's that. We're going to move on. We're just going to move on here. April, have you ever played with fire, April? Well, today's the day you get to start. I'm going to need you to take a metal waste paper basket out into the parking lot and take that long lighter that I use for lighting my scented candles, and I'm going to need you to burn absolutely every single page of this journal. Yeah, I know it's a book from the 1600s, but it is not fit for human consumption and needs to be destroyed. So, could you do that for me? Could you assist me with something, my assistant? Okay, thank you. Yeah, take that. Okay. You try to have a nice Thanksgiving show. You try. Oh, look, it's the first of our staff Thanksgiving thankful statements, Each one of us is going to go around, say what we're thankful for, and mine's going to be pretty special. I think you're in for a real treat when we get to mine. I get to go last. Not to spoil anything, but I'm going to go last, and mine, well, let's just say that it's going to be pretty special for me and a little special someone here in the office. I haven't seen her for a couple days, but you know what? We'll do it anyway. Okay. Braxton Whiteguy is thankful for family. Good one, Braxton. Always a classic. A job where you can basically just mail it in once a week. Ugh. Yeah, well, you would be thankful for that, given how you work. how bad Rem will feel after that story. Oh, yeah. That's real nice, Braxton. I do feel bad. I do feel bad. You know, I didn't realize that my ancestor was such a... well, I failed to find adjectives to properly describe him, okay? But I'm certainly not proud of what he did. Apart from establishing Clemson and building the finest mansion in the area. Anyway, let's see. Not having to finish lists if I don't feel like it. Oh, that's great. That's great, Braxton. Yeah, don't take it seriously. Okay. Typical. Ian is thankful for... Ian, you know what? Looking here, I never realized that you're... how very, round you are. You got a nice round face, Ian. You do. Features hard to forget, but you don't forget the shape of your body. It's very round. Anyway, Ian is thankful for the fact that his Uncle Chaz will never let him be fired. Wait a minute. That's how you got this job? Chaz? You hired your nephew to promote the show, and he's done a crap job of it. I've talked to you many times. So he's never going to get fired because he's your nephew, huh? Ah, boy. That's just great. How friendly Clarissa is after she's had a few. Wait a minute, Ian. Have you been taking advantage of Clarissa? Nepotism in general. Yeah, you would like that, given how you got this job in the first place. The fact that Clarissa always thinks every time we hook up is the first time. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try and delete that image from my memory. I don't need to be thinking about you and Clarissa. That's disgusting, Ian. How many... 17 times? You notch him in your bedpost? What are you, a teenager? Come on, Ian. Clarissa is the showrunner. Oh, just 'cause the executive producer is your uncle, you can do whatever you want. Oh, you support this, Chaz? Okay, well, looks like I'm the only one in the room who's willing to defend Clarissa's honor. Yeah, and that does include you, Clarissa. Get your tongue out of his mouth. My God, have a little decency, woman. Oh, you people. I swear to God, I'm just trying to have a nice, good old-fashioned, down-home Thanksgiving show, and y'all are fucking each other and putting in dirty journals for my great-grandfather. You guys are the worst. And I only thank God, who is Emmylou Harris, that Ian does such a terrible job promoting this show that no one's going to fucking see it. And now, in honor of the late Miriam Pemberton, Rem's recently departed grandmother. Oh, she was such a wonderful lady. You know, if you never got to know her, you really missed out. She was really something special. It's Gem Gem Pemberton's famous festive punch. This recipe is being shared for the first time since Gem Gem's death. Feel free to share this holiday beverage as a gift from our family to yours. Yes, absolutely. Look, I'm going to tell you this. Gem Gem, for years, decades, she was the only one who knew how to make this festive punch. And I tell you, our Pemberton family gatherings were never complete unless everyone had a cup or two of Gem Gem's famous festive punch. Yeah, even the kids would drink it. It was, well, It's a bit of an acquired taste, we'll say that, but it's a holiday tradition, and we're going to share it with you. And some of you may hear the recipe, and you may think, well, boy, that sounds delightful. I think I'm going to try that for my family. So from my family to yours, here's Gem Gem Pemberton's famous festive punch. Take one large punch bowl, obviously. Begin with one bottle of top shelf gin. No cheap stuff. Yeah, she liked her gin. That's no secret. Gem Gem liked the gin. But who doesn't? And especially around the holidays, a nice belt of something strong do you good. Add one small bottle of vodka. Ooh, that's it's going to be quite potent, Gem Gem. Are you sure? Are we sure this is the real recipe? No, the one, it was in a sealed envelope with a wax seal, my family's crest imprinted in the wax. Okay, if you say so. This seems a little strong for festive punch, but we'll continue. Add 3 cups bourbon for color. My goodness. In a separate bowl, mix spiced and white rum. How much alcohol is in this? Drink the rum bowl before continuing. Well, at least that's not going in the punch. Add a dash of absinthe for flavor. Add sliced lemons and limes to throw off the scent of liquor and enjoy. No wonder I was always getting headaches and throwing up after our family parties. I was probably drunk when I was 7 years old. Gem Gem, I never knew she was such a lush. You all think it's pretty funny, but I am learning things about my family that I would prefer that I had not known, quite frankly. I've got a kitty here trying to drink straight out of my cup. She's trying to drink my water. She's trying to drink my bourbon as well. Lucky for her, she's the cutest and best of kitties. She's the only one in this room that I don't actively loathe right now. Yeah, that's right. I said it. All you white people, tired of you, tired of your shit, tired of your back talk, tired of the way you don't respect me, my show. You wouldn't be employed if it weren't for my show. And you treat me like shit every single time. Well, I've had it. Let's move on. Chaz is thankful for executive producer credits, which allow you to make piles of money for practically no work. Oh, don't I know it, Chaz. I've seen what you do. It's basically nothing. You just put your name on stuff. His accountant, who just moved everything to offshore accounts, goodbye taxes. Oh, you don't pay taxes anymore, Chaz? And think I could respect you less. His smoking hot 22-year-old wife traded up for sure. Wait, isn't she one of your... She's your daughter's best friend? And now your daughter has to call her former best friend mom? That poor girl. I don't know what to say, Chaz. You are a sick man. His multiple houses, I guess, is supposed to be. You didn't put the S on there, Chaz. And vast exotic car collection. I could literally go on and on. You know, you are the reason that I have a hard time believing in karma. Because you are a horrible person. And nothing bad ever happens to you. You get away with everything, and you're not even listening anymore, are you? Son of a bitch. Aiden is thankful for the hipster barbershop, which gave him his trademark bouffant hair and curled moustaches. Oh, my goodness. What a hipster douchebag you are. You didn't fall far from the douchebag tree. I said it before. I'll say it again. Penny farthing bicycles. Yeah, that's a real neat way of getting around. Hipster clothing stores, which are basically just thrift stores that overcharge for things they got for free. You know this and you still shop there. That I didn't even know what to say to that, Aiden. Bands that he will hate as soon as anyone else mentions them in passing. Okay. Well, you know about Christina and the Screaming Lumps? Oh, I just ruined your weekend, didn't I, Aiden? Oh, man. That was enjoyable. That was a good time. And the Golden Girls, for some reason. You know everybody else likes the Golden Girls. Oh, but you like it ironically. Okay, that makes sense. And now, as tradition but not our expertise demands, the football segment. It's true, we gotta talk football for a minute. Okay, bear in mind, I don't know very much about football. You gotta be patient. I spent hours, look, I could tell you hours and hours worth of things about rowing and sailing, gentlemanly sports that you can do while wearing a cardigan. Anyway, I spent several hours of research on the internet to come up with, actual news and scores and things about football, and I'm going to try my best. You're going to have to be patient, and please just bear in mind that this is not the sort of thing that I normally do, but apparently a lot of people associate Thanksgiving with football, so here we go. Football news. Ramoni Critchlow is back on the grass as he recovers from a recent injury, so I guess people who are fans of his should probably be happy. Should enjoy that. Coach Keith Curl feels he was let go too soon, but the team started winning after he was let go, so I don't know, good, I guess. Is that how we do football news? Is this like ESPN? I don't know. I've never seen it. Aaron Drennan scored in the 21st minute, and Jake Scrimshaw scored in the tying goal in the 64th minute as Scunthorpe and Leyton Orient played to a 1-1 draw. Dean Bouzanis posted a shutout as his stellar goalkeeping led Sutton United to a 2-0 victory over Mansfield Town. And these behemoth cyborgs smashed heads together in a terrifying way as they fought over an egg-shaped object, and I have to admit, I didn't care for this at all. I didn't... People said it was football. I didn't see much foot stuff happening. It was weird. Well, anyway, I suppose I don't know too much about football. I tried, people, I tried. These are cyborgs, aren't they? They can't possibly be human. I mean, it's all metal and bits and pieces, and they're too big to be human. I don't know. Braxton, stop laughing. Okay, please don't make me do football anymore. I'm really out of my element. Braxton, I don't get with this picture of, John Goodman, beloved actor John Goodman. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but please make this stop. Okay, Kaysen is thankful for earthy toned cardigans. Ooh, I agree. Walnut tobacco pipes. You know, I don't smoke a pipe myself, but I do rather enjoy the smell of pipe smoke. Penny loafers. I certainly can agree with that as well. Tan corduroy pants. Oh, you're a man of taste, Kaysen. I never knew. Soft woolen scarves. Well, we ought to hang out more often, Kaysen. This is really sounding like you've got decent taste in things. Walks among the leaves in autumn, soy latte, and the recent odd trend of young men fetishizing middle age in a way that seems oddly genuine and not a ploy for hipsterism. Wait, Kaysen, is your whole mustache and cardigan vibe, is that a hipster thing or not? Are you serious about this? 'Cause you do. How old are you, Kaysen? 22? My God, man, you look 47. I was gonna invite you to play shuffleboard. No, 22. You're too young for shuffleboard. No, you're uninvited. Uninvited. You're making it weird, Kaysen. You made it weird. Good. Great. Yeah. Clarissa is thankful for Moscato. Wait, that's variety of wine. Pinot Grigio. Okay, these are all whites and white blends, I guess. Sauvignon Blanc. Chardonnay. Clarissa, is everything going to be white wine? Unlabeled white straight out of a metal bag with a spigot. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. That is how I am used to seeing you drink it, quite frankly. And Clarissa, if you'll do me a favor, take a good look at the face of the guy that you were making out with. Does it have a mustache on it? Yeah, go check the bathroom. See where the mustache is. It wound up somewhere else. Nah, that you find out. I don't want to know. And now, as my brain is being eaten by weekend type fun, yes, when I wrote these slides, I was becoming very much overcome by having partaken too much weekend type fun substances, and my brain was folding in on itself. I was having a hard time focusing, and so I just let my brain do what it was doing. I have no idea how this is going to go. I was originally going to record this while still under that influence. All I've got in me tonight is a little bit of whiskey. That's right, whiskey, a gentlemanly beverage, enjoyed by gentlemen if they're gentlemanly enough to enjoy it. Sipped delicately over the course of an hour, whiskey. As long as it's single malt, it's good for you. Anyway, let's see where this goes. I'm going to let that guy just say stuff because if nothing else, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow. Well, it'll be interesting to see tonight. I don't remember where my brain went because I just let go at this point. Did you know? Oh, God. This doesn't look good. That if you suddenly decide to learn to tie-dye while in your 40s, people will make assumptions about you? It's true. Look, I did learn to tie-dye in my 40s. In the summer of my 42nd year, I learned how to tie-dye. And I love doing it. Love the tie-dye, not gonna lie. Truth be told, I just really wanted to learn tie-dye way back in high school when the 90s were having a rebirth of the 70s and tie-dye was cool. It's true. I mean, look, Dazed and Confused was a super big thing. The 1970s were back in a big way. We rebooted Woodstock, the end of the 60s, the beginning of the 70s, both musically and culturally. And our Woodstocks went off a little more like Altamont than Woodstock, but, whatever, who's counting? Anyway, but it was a whole thing. And tie-dye was cool, and I wanted to learn how to do it, but, internet didn't have videos on it yet. It only had, it was mostly text, honestly. Kids today would have hated it. There was a lot of reading in the early internet days. But yeah, there just wasn't video, and so, I didn't have anyone who could teach me how to tie-dye, and so I couldn't learn how to tie-dye, and so I didn't know. And so, I just remembered all of a sudden this last summer, I was like, remember when I wanted to learn how to tie-dye? I was in the arts and crafts aisle because my daughter always gets birthday presents from the arts and crafts aisle, and I saw a tie-dye kit, and I was like, I think it's time, that's how that went. Literally no other reason, but people do make assumptions about you if in your 40s all of a sudden you're like, hey bro, I just learned how to tie-dye for no reason. Don't read a book by its cover, man. Unless that book takes a sudden interest in jam bands during that same year. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's true. I did, then again, okay, remember, this is the guy who, I didn't have a drink until I was 34. I never tasted alcohol. Didn't know what it tasted like, let alone, got myself inebriated and whatnot. And so, yeah, people make assumptions. People always have made assumptions. I remember in college one time, I had really long hair, and I hung out in record shops, and there were these guys, they were in a band, and they stopped me in the middle of the street, the middle of the crosswalk on Mill Avenue, which is not a long crosswalk. You gotta hurry across that friggin' one. Anyway, they stopped me, and they were like, hey, man, we're a cool band. We're in town just for the night. Do you know where we could score some weed? And I literally had no idea. I knew there was a head shop next to the record store, but obviously a head shop is, or do they? I don't even know. That's the funny thing, is that I know that head shops will sell you the paraphernalia because that's what they had in the windows. They're like, do you want to smoke out of a skull that's made for quote unquote tobacco? Do you want to smoke out of a hang loose sign that is also made for tobacco? We all knew what was going on, but it's a head shop. It's not if you're a head shop, then the cops are probably already sniffing around, and this is way before things were even medicinally legal in Arizona. Or maybe it was, I don't know. See, that's the thing, is that I don't know because I was not involved at all. Now, do I know where to get weed? Yeah, I know there's a dispensary in Havasu because there's a giant billboard right as you're leaving town. So that's number one. And number two, I know which one of my students has been busted for dealing. So, Like, but imagine that I actually, wanted to dig on that scene, man, and went up to a former student and was like, "Hey, Broseph, could you score me some of the ickiest of the sticky or stickiest of the icky?" That's the line from Half Baked. Some of your sweetest chiba, the stickiest of the icky. Like, anyway, regardless, the thing is that, like, yeah, ain't no way I'm gonna hit up a former student. Regardless, anyway, but people make assumptions, and back in high school, people were like, "You smoke weed, right?" And I was always like, "No, you're just assuming that because half of my friends are stoners." Because, like, I played a lot of hacky sack in the 90s. It was a whole thing. I did a lot of hippie stuff, like, and I've always been a fan of Grateful Dead. I didn't become a Fish fan until this last year, but, like, that just smacks of, like, oh, he just like he turned 40 and now but yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, come on, making assumptions. Uh, I better not have become some lame-ass classic example of what guys who used to be vaguely cool in the late 90s become when they hit their mid-40s. Jam bands, tie-dye, yeah. I mean, like, this sounds about par for the course. Sounds about right. I swear to God, who is Emmylou Harris, praise be she, that I will slap their parrot head rum drink out of their hand with my righteous jam band hands. I don't know why I'm mad at parrot heads right now, but apparently I am. This isn't helping, is it? When I read this in the future, I will have exhausted the audience's threshold for patience with this background and font. I think that's true. This font and background just screams like, "Hey, Brosiv, you're a former student. Do you know where I could get weed?" Like, anyway, by the way, it's even recreationally legal in Arizona now, so if I wanted it, I suppose I could go. And we return à la classique, et viola. It's supposed to be et voila, but it's a picture of a viola. Get it? Comedy. Comedy. Do you get it? Do you understand what comedy is? Well, apparently neither do I. I wrote these slides and they are terrible. Oh, God. Did you know that I used to play the viola in middle and high school? It's true. It's factually accurate. And even though I never brought my viola home or practiced, both true, I was always first chair, and this cute girl who was always second is true. Yeah, cute girl was always second. She would challenge me every single month. You could only challenge for first chair once a month. And she would practice her cute little butt off, but she couldn't ever beat me. Like, she would like practice and practice and practice and practice. And she would tell me ahead of time, like, I'm going to beat you. Like, oh, there's no way. And I'd be like, okay, I hope you do. But, like, I wouldn't practice and I would still be better. Like, it came too easy for me for whatever reason. And so, like, it was a constant thing for her. Anyway, she also joined the speech and debate team, and we developed this flirty relationship on all our bus trips. Yeah, when I say relationship, I don't mean, like, relationship. I mean, like, we would flirt with each other a lot, like, back and forth. Like, there was a give and a take, a whole thing. I actually recently ran across a scrap of paper, a note that she wrote me on one of those trips. That's true. I still have, to this day, a note that she wrote me when I was in high school, and I haven't gotten rid of it for reasons that will become a parent, probably. um, anyway, my sisters started hanging out with her, and they found out that we were actually like ninth cousins or something, very distantly related. Not uncommon in small northern Arizona towns. Actually, it's much more common to be very closely related. A lot of third cousin marriages up there, if you know what I mean. I actually have an uncle who married a third cousin, and it's just like, all right, if we don't want the family tree to branch too much, I guess this is what we're doing. Anyway, so yeah, yep. So, ninth cousins is like you're basically not even related. You're ninth cousins with like half the freaking world. You know what I'm saying? Like we were very, very, very distantly related, especially for small Arizona towns, like where everybody's intermarrying and whatnot. So it's like legitimately no big deal. Like legitimately no big deal. Anyway, so my sister started calling her cousin, and she started calling my sister cousin. That is true. And which meant that she also started calling me cousin as well. And the whole cousin thing made it weird that I was still attracted to her, which made me feel uncultured and inbred. Both of these things are true. She started calling me cousin, and I was honestly thinking of asking her out because of the whole flirty thing that we had going with each other and whatnot. But yeah. I totally didn't ask her out because it's like, oh God, she started like other people started being like, cousins, right? And I'm like, they're like ninth cousins, you know. But because she and my sister were like really good friends, they would be like, no, we're like seriously cousins though, and I would be like, oh God. You are making this difficult. You are making this very difficult. Anyway, so even though at one time there was a window in which we could have dated in high school, so like right after she joined speech and debate and before my sister found out that she was distantly related, we could have dated. Like if I had moved faster, that pretty much would have happened. I'm pretty sure. But we never dated, and it's probably for the best for so many reasons I will not enumerate here, but yeah, obviously. Anyway, after high school, her parents divorced, and even though I went to the same junior college, she ran with a different crowd than I. That is true. I fell in with the choir kids because I was in all the choirs, and I also fell in with the theater kids because I was a theater major. So like, yeah, fine arts kids. That was me, and yeah, she was with a different crowd entirely, and so like I didn't really see her, even though it was a small campus and small college, like different things. Anyway, then one day I heard she got married to some sketchy sounding guy I don't know. Now, I only know the sketchy sounding from what everybody told me. I never knew the guy. Like, I did not ever know him, but every person who ever described him to me made him sound sketchy. So let's assume that she married a sketchy guy because everyone was like, he's sketchy. So, yeah, she married a sketchy man. I didn't make it to the wedding because it was out of town. And if I recall, I'm pretty sure this is factually accurate, I did not get an invite. And then I didn't hear about her until a few years later. And I heard two pieces of information about her, both at the same time. Both, I believe, from my mother, who was catching me up on, things that were happening with people that I know. It's the thing my mom does, always telling me like, oh, here's who got married. Here's who had a baby. Here's who died. Here's who has cancer right now. This is basically every conversation with my mother. Anyway, so two pieces of information, one of them potentially very biased, given the source, and one of them that is definitely true. So here are the two pieces of information. First, that her marriage wasn't going well. I don't know if they got divorced or if they were separated or what, but it was just a general like, yeah, it's not working out. And secondly, not to bury the lead, but that she was dead. That this girl that I had a crush on, that I had tried to suppress my crush because all of a sudden she's calling me cousin. This whole thing, all of a sudden she's dead. She's no longer living. Yeah. Anyway, I saw her obituary and my mom sent me a program from the funeral in the mail, just like she did for my former best friend Todd, who died of COVID this year. I didn't make it to that funeral either. There's a whole thing. If you want to know about that, watch the Island Craft episodes that talk about that ad nauseum. Times change and people drift apart. People drift into your life and then they drift right back out again, and you're left wondering, should I have gone to the funeral? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. When people die, even if you've drifted apart for a decade or two, their mortality makes you considerably more aware of the fragility of your own life. This is true. Someone your age dies, someone you have known dies, makes you think about your own death. Like Gilgamesh. He saw Enkidu die. He dealt with the death of Enkidu. Then he realized, oh no, I'm going to die too. Anyway. Hey, guy with the brain, wasn't this supposed to be a comedy show? Well, let me help you there. This hasn't been my best episode. It has not been very funny. Sorry, Sweeney Land and other people who watch this show. This is not a good one. This is not a good one. I'm sorry how this is turning out. This one, not good. Telling stories about dead girls and like the racist freaking journals. Hey, racism is funny, right? Nope. And please bear in mind the fact that like I have great respect for Native Americans. I was raised around Native Americans. Many of my best friends growing up were Native American. There was a time period in my life where in college, all of my roommates were Native, and the girl that I was dating was Native. Like, I was surrounded by Natives. Not to make it sound bad, I was willingly in the company of Natives all the time. And and they all had copies of Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee that was gifted to them when they left for college, because that's a thing. This is very much a tradition. If you are Native and you're hearing this, you're going to be like, yep, that's a whole thing. Anyway, regardless. So this has gone terribly. I worked so hard to make it a thing and try and get over it. Like, honestly, this is just a speed bump. I'm just trying to make it through. Did you make it this far? Like, did you seriously watch this whole thing? Oh, my God. You're worse than I am. And that's the last time I'll ever let myself have been attracted in the past to distantly related girls whose young deaths constantly remind me of the fragility of my own existence. Get it? Like a pun, but with completely different words and structure and rhetorical purpose. Joke-esque light. All new from the makers of Father Humor. Father Humor. It's not really a dad joke until it's been Father Humor approved. The following things are declared to be always funny. They're funny in and of themselves, with or without context, whether alone or in a crowd. The following things, always funny. Number 1, butts. It's a slappy, flappy pair of skin flaps that cover the poopy hole. Well, what's not funny about that? Skin flaps that cover the poopy hole, and they're slappy and flappy? This is hilarious. Butts are freaking hilarious. Farts. Whether blasted in church, squeaked at a funeral, ripped in bed, dropped out in rhythm while walking, cut in class, barked out in the bathroom, or silently but potently let slip in an elevator, farts are always funny. They are. Farts are freaking hilarious. You ever fart on the lid of an empty ice chest? Telling you, is like a soundboard for your fart. It'll like turn your fart into a bass drum fart. Like it's for real. There is a percussive quality to an empty ice chest fart. Try it out. No, seriously, it's freaking hilarious. Men who are not you getting hit in the crotch. Now, obviously, if you are the one getting hit in the crotch, it's not funny to you, but it will be funny to everyone who sees it. So, no matter the recipient, whether Republican or Democrat, rich or poor, religious or non-believing, of any race or ethnicity, no matter your gender or sexual identity, if you see a man get hit in the crotch, it is always funny. Always. Fact, ladies and gentlemen. Fact. Look, I don't care if you support Biden or if you support Trump. If you wouldn't want to see both of those men get nailed in the crotch, then you're not a real American. Like, that's all there is to it. There is nothing more American than watching people get hit in the crotch. This is like America's Funniest Home Videos, which, like, honestly, that ought to be our new national anthem. America, America, get hit in the crotch. I'm pretty sure that's how the song goes. Yeah, but hitting the crotch, always funny. Women who are not you immediately regretting bangs. Oh man, there is a serious chunk of the internet that is dedicated to women immediately regretting this business. Such schadenfreude as you have not seen elsewhere. Fat people falling down. And really just fat people in general. And thanks to the completely unregulated snack industry, there are more fat people than ever. We've gone, as a species, from worrying about whether or not we get enough calories to stay healthy to eating, as a species, 3 times our recommended daily amount in snacks alone. So, we're all more likely to look like this than not. And, we've decided that fat is one of the only classes of people that you can still poke fun at. Doesn't matter who it is. You know, could even be your mom. Your mom is so fat. How fat is she? Well, your mama is so big and fat, she could get busy with 22 burritos. When times are tough, I saw her in the back of Taco Bell in handcuffs. These words, as funny now as they were when the Far Side put them down on their record, was it Bizarre Ride 2, I think? Anyway, regardless, the Far Side, great underrated hip-hop group from back in the day. If you ever wished that A Tribe Called Quest had more, like, Yo Mama jokes, Far Side, baby. Anyway, but yeah, fat people. We make fun of them, so it's funny. Number 6. major tragedies as soon as kids aren't old enough to remember them. Now, this is true, and I've had to make my peace with this. But seriously, kids tell 9/11 jokes now. It's true. Because 9/11 is not a relevant event for them. So it holds no emotional significance. They weren't there on that day. They don't know what the Twin Towers were, what they looked like. They didn't ever see New York City's skyline and be like, oh, they're the Twin Towers. Like it's not a frame of reference that they had. And they know about 9/11 generally, but in the same way that we know about the Hindenburg. Look at this. See, we can, the huge manatee. This was a huge tragedy for people of that time. But as soon as we're old enough to not remember it, we're like, man, let's make fun of it. Even though it was a tragedy for people of that time. And so now, 9/11 jokes, kids are just like, it's hilarious. Tell more 9/11 jokes. Anyway, number 6, monkeys. Whether just seeming to be almost human or clawing or gnawing at the face and or crotch of their owner due to having gone wild, as all monkeys do by a certain age, is true. It's true. Monkeys, once they reach a certain age, are considerably more likely to attack their owners, and when they attack, they always go for face and crotch, the two areas, because face and crotch, you can't counterattack if somebody's grabbing your face, and you don't want to counterattack if someone's grabbing your crotch. So, yeah, it's pretty effective tactics there, monkeys. Anyway, so Curious George may have lived to neuter and or disfigure the man in the yellow hat. That's just a fun thing to think about. Number 7, not being that guy who offends everyone by mansplaining the difference between monkeys and apes. Because most people already know. They just don't make everything about themselves because they don't have to constantly assert their intelligence by blurting every commonly known bit of trivia any intelligent adult would have picked up by this age. And if you don't know the difference between monkeys and apes, freaking Google it. You live in an age of information. It's really easy to find out. Number 8. The invisible dog. Just is, man. It just is. It's always funny. You see someone in public, you're going to tell me, you see someone in public with this gag. They purchased this at some sort of joke shop, and they are walking around with an invisible dog. You're not going to laugh at that? Really? It's freaking hilarious. It's so stupid and yet so effective. If a guy is good at making it seem like there's a dog on the other end, come on. It's great. Who doesn't love the invisible dog? Arrow through the head. Same thing. This guy's face does not show the hilarity that this gag is clearly imbued with. Number 10, this sign and the man unironically holding it, because sincere America equals funny. Now, Rem Pemberton is thankful for the angel known as Brenda, who just became our intern. That's right. Grateful for Brenda. She's so wonderful, don't you think? Braxton, haven't you begun to see how wonderful Brenda is? Doesn't her gorgeous face and her generally sweet demeanor just make you immediately forget that cold, ugly lump, Dulce? No, I said it. Cold, ugly lump. Yeah, that's right. Brenda is an angel, and someday you'll see that. Maybe when she's signing your paychecks. We've talked about this. I'm also grateful for Mom, I guess. the fact that he got to keep his sleeves. You thought I forgot. You thought I forgot. I was worried last week that they were going to have my sleeves. Well, maybe they'll have them this week for all the swearing I've done and the general lack of quality in this episode, but they didn't take them last week. They're probably not taking them this week. I'm also thankful for the way Brenda lights up every room she enters. And I'm also thankful for, keep this under your hat, the fact that I have a ring in my pocket right now, and I'm waiting for the right moment. That's right. I'm a romantic at heart, ladies and gentlemen. I believe in love. I believe in love at first sight. When I saw Brenda, I just knew. I just knew she had to be the one. And, one of these days, I'm going to pop that question. You just wait and see. Brenda is thankful for. Hopefully she says something nice about me. Oh, Rem starts with me. This such luck. Rem, I'm sorry I saw your slides before tonight's Psode aired. Oh, so spoiled the surprise, but obviously she's had time to think about it. She has her answer. Sure, it's a yes. Has to be a yes. This is fate. This is fate, ladies and gentlemen. I don't feel about you that way. In fact, you really creep me out. I've decided I don't need to spare your feelings in letting you down. I think you and all the guys in the office are creepy, and I'm taking a job at weekendish jocularity with Reg Pemblage. That hack? Braxton, did you know about this? Chaz, did you know about this? She filed a complaint with HR? But all I did was show her unconditional love. And maybe mention that perhaps there might be nuptials in our future, just gently hinting at the fact that she might have a ring coming her way. What's wrong with that? I mean, is chivalry dead? Oh, so I'm not allowed to propose marriage to the new intern? Okay, well, maybe now that she's not the new intern, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe I'll just pop over to that hack Reg Pemblage's and see what he's got to say. See if he has any objections to me, sweeping his new little assistant right out from under him, making her my wife. Wait, why don't you think it'll work? Okay, I'll read it again. Okay, the part. I don't need to spare your feelings. I think you and all the guys in the office are creepy. Yeah, she said you guys are creepy. Chaz, Braxton, Kaysen, Aiden, Ian, especially you, Ian, I'm sure. You guys are creepy. Oh, she did say me. Now that I look at it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I'm going to need a moment. No, I'm going to hit this pause button. It's gotten rather a lot of dust in the room. Okay, this has been unpaused for a minute or two, and I am back. I've been drinking things over. And you know what? Braxton, you look silly. You look like you're my best friend. You're my best friend, Braxton. You are my best friend. Come over to my house. Come over with me. We'll do more drinking. We'll do more drinking, Braxton. You like drinking? You like drink? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, you shut up. You stop talking. Chaz. I like Chaz. You are my best friend. We are friends. You are a good guy. Oh, boy. Hey. 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 Do you want to come over to my place? We can, watch manly football and talk about how we don't have feelings. How we don't have feelings for Insurance Day Brenda, who are perfect and won't marry us. Okay, okay, I promise. Okay, you unpaused? Did you unpause? Did you unpause the show? Did you unpause it? Okay, I promise I won't talk about Brenda anymore. She's... Brenda, you are dead to me. And if it weren't illegal, you would be dead to everyone else, too. Tell me you don't want my ring? I took Gemgem's ring, her old ring. I had her body exhumed. I had Gemgem's body exhumed for this. I took her ring off her finger, and I took the family ring that Gemgem refused to give any of us, and I took it, and I was gonna make you my wife with it, but you don't want it, do you? You don't want to be my wife. Well, I don't want to be your wife either, Brenda. I don't want to be your wife. So there. Okay. That's it. I don't want to see your stupid face. This is Braxton. Sorry, Rev. I saw Brenda's slides. I would be lying if I said I wasn't also attracted to her. You shut your dirty mouth. She's my wife. Oh, wait, that's right. She's not my wife. You could be attracted. You could have her. Do you want me to set you up? I know where she lives, and I know a tree where you could get a pretty good view of her bedroom window. Do you want to see? Do you want to see? Okay, we'll talk about it later. But does this mean we can call Dulce back? Braxton, I told you that sad cold lump is gone. She was my second choice of wife, and she is also gone. I have to go for number 3. See if we can sober up Clarissa or something. Oh my God. Clarissa, you want to get sober? We could get married. We could get married, Clarissa. She doesn't hear me. She's too drunk. You lush, Clarissa. I love her. She's gonna be my wife someday. Anyway, just think about it while you roll the end credits. End credits. Oh, look at those beautiful end credits. This programma, this spelled funny, was made possible by the Igneous and Gertrudine. Gertrudine, pretty sure that's right. But Comer Foundation, and by viewers like you. Sexy viewers like you sexy viewer. Do you want to get married? Do you want to have a marriage of my Gemgem's ring that I shouldn't have, as the executor of her estate would probably be pretty upset if he knew I had it? Oh, but what he doesn't know won't hurt him. And so, shh, don't tell. Don't tell who has the ring. Okay. Promotional considerations provided by Ralph Morgan's Extra Strangly Snakes, the Lonely Ass Librarians Guild, Grandpappy True Real's Foul Smelling Balms and Gruels. They smell like rotten death, Grandpappy. You gotta fix those gruels and balms. They're terrible. And the one and only true God. Hey, Emmylou Harris, God. Do you want to get married? Hey, you're too busy running the universe and making the planets spin. Hey, I know that guy. Ha! You're not married, are you, you failure? You're a failure and a fraud, Rampublage. Rembles, Pembles, Roomy Doomy Doom. You are dead to me because I don't want to be you anymore. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be Braxton. Oh, my name is Braxton, and I don't put in much effort. And the room where I work smells like skunks all the time. And I use lots of Visine for some reason. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. My name is Braxton, and I prefer the sad, lumpy women. Dooby-dooby-doo. Anyway, hey, I do enjoy these colors. Thank you very much, person. Was it me who wrote? Am I thanking myself? Well, you're welcome, myself. Ha. Written by Braxton Whiteguy. Mailed it in this weekend. You sure did, buddy. You didn't try, and that's why you and me are a couple of single fellas, a couple of guys that no woman in her right mind would want to wear the ring of the dead grandmother that we had exhumed to snatch the ring. Her finger broke off when I took the ring. Don't tell. It was really gross. It sounded like a really thick Dorito, and it just... And then I got the ring, and I should have washed it off before I tried to give it to Brenda. That is probably the problem. Brenda, I'm going to go to the peeping tree, and I'm going to wash the ring, and if you say yes, then sleep in the nude like you did on the night. Let me check my journal of watching Brenda from the peeping tree. Ah, yes, the night of November 3rd, where you slept in the nude, and boy, was that a lovely time for all of us. Oh, Braxton, you knew she wasn't gonna marry me. I hate you, Braxton. You knew she wasn't ever gonna do this. You knew she wouldn't wear Geb Geb's filthy dead ring. You son of a bitch. I fucking hate you, Braxton. Come here, let's fight. Put up your Marquis de Queensberry's. Let's do this. Let's do this like gentlemen of yore. Put up the fisticuffs and let's duke it out. Ah, you won't do it, huh, you coward. No wonder you're unmarried, you coward. Theme song by the out of tuners. It sounded like shit this time, guys. You gotta fix it. You fix whatever's wrong. A presentation of non-sober bad productions. Exactly. A subsidiary of the large, boring-sounding corporation with surprisingly questionable business practices, Lawful Asset Holdings Incorporated, a branch of the intentionally vague corporation whose purpose may never be known, the Blaine Group, and communism. Communism. You're my only friend. Communism. Oh, I'm going to reread the Communist Manifesto. And this time, when I get to Proletarians of the World Unite, I'm actually going to do it. I swear to God, Karl Marx, you're my best buddy. Let's go fishing like bros, Karl Marx. You never call me anymore. But communism is still alive and well. Very much so. This week's lucky listener weekend getaway giveaway. Agostino Gus Picarelli. Oh, wait, is that the Gus with the bus who threw a fuss of probably a truss when Russ mussed the pus of a frisky Rusky who grabbed his Trotsky and gave Russ a Kerplowski right in the southbound bus driven by Gus? That one? Is that the guy? Is that the guy? Is that the guy? Is that the guy? Oh, it is the guy. Cool. Did you realize what I've done? Did you know what I did? Did you know what I did? Look, I've created two separate and unique clems of Pembertons of the Clemson. Wait, that's supposed to be Rem, you idiot. Rams Pembertons is stupid. What are you, on substances of a weekend variety? Clemson Pembertons. The one hosts a comedy-esque show, while the other plays Minecraft on the weekend editions, anyway. It's true. It's basically like two separate and unique Rems of Pemberton and the Clemson Pembertons, 'cause one is always like, oh, my lovely wife, and I'm married, and she's lovely, and that's the guy with the island. See? The other one is like, oh, I love Brenda, and want to give her a dead woman's nasty ring that still has flecks of rotted flesh on it. You think if maybe I clean the flecks of rotted flesh that maybe she would want to be my husband and me be her wife? I would love that. Maybe I'll clean the ring and I'll go to the peeping tree and we'll see. Anyway, but I'm telling you, there's two separate Rems of Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. So, like, now we have a multiverse of potentially limitless iterations of the Rems of Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons, but all imagined in some ridiculous way as I am myself. Except the truth, I, the person saying this, am a figment of your imagination that you mildly smirk at when you think of, and that's all you are to me in return. Aha! Yes! Acting! And I am a figment of your imagination. None of this has been real. None of this has been real, and I myself am not real. And you've slipped into a dark corner of the internet where nothing is real. And you yourself, are you real? And are you sure about that? Hey, remember, hundreds of actual real live adults gathered in Dallas to see whether or not JFK Jr., a long dead Democrat, would rise from his grave, revisit the place where his father was murdered, assassinated, and restore Donald Trump to the White House. They are still there right now. Like, it's true. Look at this. This guy has a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt. These ladies in cowboy hats have a Trump Kennedy flag, and the Where We Go One, We Go All. 2020, because they still think the 2020 election is on. Do you understand? Like, what? How can this be the reality that we live in? Can it be possible that there's a multiverse of, like, ridiculous alternate realities? Each one at least as plausible as this, if not less so. Hey, no closure. The end. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thanks for coming on a journey with me if you did. If you didn't, I understand. This shit is, is not my best work. But it was important to me that I finish it and that I do it my way. Sinatra, baby, I did it my way. And now I'm going to sing Sinatra's great song, My Way. Just kidding. Okay, bye.